What's up my achievement sponges, Mayhem Blizz? We're playing SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated for the full 1000G. It's on Xbox Game Pass, so if you got that chappy, pick us up. You can get the full 1000G in around 4 hours in a single playthrough, and I'll be showing you where all of the golden spatulas and socks are located throughout the game, as well as obtaining all of the achievements. So let's get started. We'll start in SpongeBob's house, where we need to collect everything in here for the Time for Tutorial achievement. This includes collecting the shinies, which are the flower looking collectibles. We'll start by heading into the bathroom to the right and right again. We're going to jump on top of the sink, the toilet, above the window and the bath, and you should have 12 shinies from that room. You can see the number in the top right. In the next room we're going on the desk, the shelves, above the cooker, and another shiny on top of the fridge, to which you should have a total of 60 shinies now. Out of here then we can unlock the door to our left, approach it and hit right bumper to unlock it. In the bedroom, make sure to jump on top of the bed and jump again to obtain the shinies from the diving board, and the two sitting on top of the chest in the corner. We should have 70 shinies. In here, turn left and pick up the shinies, and we're going to hit this switch and collect the shinies on top of these blocks. Then destroy the tiki heads. You can do a ground slam by pressing B at the top of your jump. And then to destroy the tikis in the air, we're going to stand underneath them and press the Y button. And then we're going to do the same with this button, stand underneath it and press the Y button. This will release a beach ball. You're going to jump on that ball and hit this switch on the bookshelf. This will release some timed platforms leading up to our first sock collectible. So we're going to ground slam this button on the floor and use the jump pad to get to the platform above. And then you're going to traverse up the platforms to get the sock located on the highest one. And make sure you grabbed all of the shinies from the jump pad, as well as the single shiny located above the button, held up with bamboo. And then you should have 170 shinies before leaving this room. We're now going to head back to the living room, and you're going to pay 50 shinies to open this door in front of you to locate and pick up our first golden spatula. On collecting that, your Time for Tutorial achievement should pop for 10 Gs, and we're now good to exit the front door. So head behind SpongeBob's house and you'll want to hit this switch with the Y button, which will activate some timed platforms. And then we're going to head towards Patrick's house and we can ground slam these tikis and button to activate another platform. You're going to quickly double jump on top of that platform and take it up to the roof of Squidward's house, where we can gain some golden pants for an extra life. And then use these platforms to jump on top of SpongeBob's house to locate a second golden spatula. We now need to head into Squidward's house and we need to destroy everything in here for our third golden spatula, as well as our second sock.
I didn't know Squidward had a lamp. See, Squidward? I knew.
We also want to get a miscellaneous achievement here, where we need to speak with Squidward 10 times for the Are You Ready Now achievement for 20 Gs.
Didn't I pay you to go away?
Hey, Squidward. Hey, Squidward. Hey, Squidward.
And then once you've got that, again, just make sure you've destroyed everything in here and you've got your sock and your spatula before leaving.
Another find for Patrick.
Hey, SpongeBob!
You'll then want to speak to Patrick for our third sock collectible,
Hey, Patrick.
and then we're going to head inside Patrick's house and destroy his sofa for the fourth sock.
Glad to have this back. Living under a rock. Now that's the life. Another find for
You should have a total of 3 spatulas and 4 socks. You can press the right trigger to see these. And then we're going to head straight and call a taxi to Jellyfish Fields to start our first level. There is an achievement for destroying every type of robot, and we can find our first one as soon as we start this level. So make sure to destroy him. So start by hugging the right path, and we're going to destroy tikis on the way. You don't need to destroy every single tiki or collect every shiny, as we'll farm these later. but we do want to collect enough of them, and destroying tikis in your path should be enough. So you'll come to this cave. Behind the tikis is sock number 5.
I love opening presents.
And then we can head back. And to the right, we can spend 125 shinies at this clam to rebuild this bridge. And then you're going to hug the left side here, traverse up these platforms to find a button we can ground slam to reveal some barrels. And you're going to traverse over those barrels to find sock number 6 at the end.
Another find for Patrick.
And then use this jump pad to get back. Hugging the left side, make your way up this hill, avoiding the pufferfish bombs. And at the top, you're going to destroy the cannon and speak with Gary. And now we can take a right and use this fishing line hook to bungee and collect our 4th spatula. And then you're going to take a right again and hit this switch and make your way over the platforms. We are introduced to a second type of robot, so make sure to destroy him and continue on taking the right hand path. You're going to follow this round. And we're going to use this tree jump pad to get to the platform above us. We're then going to use these tikis to collect your 7th sock.
Boy, Patrick will be glad to have this back.
So jump back down, and we're going to jump across all of these tree jump pads, and you will automatically land on sock number 8. And then you can use this tree jump pad to get back. You're going to head across this seesaw bridge. These cardboard boxes are similar to checkpoints, and then if you were to fall from here, we could locate the other cardboard box, jump inside, and it would teleport us back here. So carry on, and these machines here infinitely spawn enemies, so you want to prioritize taking those out first. And behind that machine is a switch. Hit it to lower the gate and find spatula number 5. You should have a total of 5 spatulas and 8 socks. We're now good to travel to Jellyfish Caves. And we're coming up to our first sliding section. Make sure you open up the cardboard box so we can get back here and then start. You're going to hug the right hand path and jump to the secret path on the right, which will lead us to sock number 9. And you'll come to a ramp with tikis. You'll need to double jump to a platform on the right hand side to collect sock number 10. And if you miss either of these, you can go back to the menu and reload Jellyfish Caves to try again. To proceed in this area, we need to hit all of the switches located near each duplicator. And then once you've hit all of those switches, this will reveal some more platforms. Head over these to find Patrick and spatula number 6.
Hey, SpongeBob.
We will now have control over Patrick. With Patrick, we can pick up and throw objects with the B button. So pick up this watermelon and throw it at the switch to lower the gate.
Gotta carry a lot of stuff around.
And we're going to do the same in the next section, but we need to throw the watermelon up the platforms first. Then here, we're going to stand on the plank and throw the watermelon on the other side to send us to the next area. Head across the platforms and ground slam this switch at the end to lower the gate and follow the path. And then we're going to use the watermelon on both switches to lower the gate and continue.
That's much better. Obviously, thought that was your fix, well, good.
Then here we just need to chuck the watermelon on the pressure plate to lower the gate. Once through, chuck this watermelon at the base of this wall and use it to jump up. This next one, we're going to chuck a watermelon on top of the other one to be able to jump up. Once up, turn around and you can jump and collect sock number 11.
Hey, this is mine.
And then for the last wall, we want to throw a watermelon at the base of the wall like before and chuck the other watermelon on top of it. Head up, open the box, and you'll have another sliding section with Patrick. No collectibles in this sliding section to worry about. From the slide, directly in front of you is an ice cube, so pick that up and throw it into the water to freeze it. And we are then able to pick up sock number 12 you can see in the distance. And then head back, open the box and follow the path. Once here, you can use the watermelon we just passed and throw that at the switch to lower it. Or you can use one of these hammer enemies. What you want to do is double jump and ground slam close by, not directly over them, and that will stun them, and then you'll be able to pick them up and throw them at the switch. Once done, you can jump to that new platform to obtain spatula number 7. And then once you've got that, then we're done with this area and we can head up to Jellyfish Lakes. We are introduced to yet another new enemy, so be sure to take him out. And then follow the path to Mrs. Puff. We're going to cross the bridge and use the technique I showed you earlier. We need to ground slam close to these enemies to stun them, pick them up and throw them into the chimneys to drain the water.
I don't think SpongeBob's underwear fits quite right.
Once you've done that, you can grab the spatula number 8. From that spatula, take the path to the right and you're going to follow the path. Keep hugging the right side and following the path. And you'll come to these stone tikis. Just attack your way through. And then we're going to spend 150 shinies at this clam to unlock the gate and follow along the platforms. When you come to this duplicator, you can see a large balancing platform to the left. Use that platform to obtain sock number 13, located on the cliff. Once you have that, use the treetop to get back. And then continue following the path. You'll come to a large bridge with an ice cube sitting next to it. Before going over the bridge, head to the left side of it. That leads to sock number 14. And then you're good to head over the bridge. You'll come to a seesaw bridge, which we will ignore. We're going to bait the explosive tiki head to destroy the stone tikis and use the platform to get to the bus stop. We can use the bus stop to change our character to SpongeBob. And then we can use the new wall jump mechanic by jumping into the wall and hitting A to jump to the next wall. Once at the top, we're going to cross the waterfall, and to the left we can find spatula number 9. And then here you should have 9 spatulas and 14 socks before proceeding to Spork Mountain. We will be faced with our first boss fight. All of the boss fights in this game are relatively easy. And for this one, we're going to avoid him until he does a ground attack. Once he's done that, that will remove his shield. We're going to simply jump over the blast and attack him. And you're going to do that 2 more times to defeat him. Once you've defeated him, you'll get the Jellyfish Jam achievement for 10 Gs. And before leaving the area, be sure to pick up the jelly in the middle of the bath. We now have another sliding section which does contain collectibles. At the first bend, instead of turning right, keep heading straight to drop down to the path below. And then you're going to follow this round to get sock number 15. And that will get you the sock getter achievement for 10 Gs. At the end of the slide, you'll need to double jump from the ramp to reach the platform in front of you to get spatula number 10. And again, if you missed either of these, we can load up the Spork Mountain level in the menu. You will also unlock the Spatula Seeker achievement for another 10 Gs. We're then going to open the menu and select Jellyfish Fields and load up the top of the hill so we can turn in Squidward's mission by giving him the jelly that we got for defeating the boss, and earn our 11th spatula.
Anything for my best friend Squidward.
And now there is a sock that we can obtain here, but we do need Patrick to get it, so we're going to open up our menu, and then we're going to load up the spelunking checkpoint. Once that's loaded up, we're going to open up the menu once more and return to top of the hill. And then we will now return here as Patrick. So head straight and over the bridge. We're going to hug the left side. And you can see this raised platform with an ice cube on it. We're going to pick that up and launch that into the water. And then we're going to go fetch that sock number 16 in the distance. And you should now have 11 spatulas and 16 socks. We're now going to head back to Bikini Bottom, on top of the pineapple checkpoint. And to the left, we're going to take a taxi to downtown Bikini Bottom. We need to collect 11 steering wheels in this level, and we can find the first one located directly in front of us on top of these tikis. And the second is located to the left on the awning, so jump and collect that one. We don't need to hit this switch just yet, as we can collect a sock, but collect the ball to move quicker. And we're going to head over to the statue, and then back left. Inside this broken unit, you can find sock number 17. And now we're going to head back to the statue, and you'll want to encourage the cannon to shoot the tikis around the statue. You can do this by standing behind a stack of them, or we can press the Y button to jump up and trigger the explosive tikis. You will take damage from that though. And under each stack of tikis is a button we need to ground slam. And once you've hit all 4 buttons, we're going to jump onto the statue and use the slanted piece of metal to jump to the top and cop your 12th spatula. You now want to head back to the start. At the start of this level, you can find a jumping frog-like robot. I'm unsure if this one counts towards the achievement, but you may as well destroy them to be sure. We're going to hit that button and head through the gate. Once through the gate, you'll be introduced to another new enemy, so be sure to take care of him. And then this switch opens another gate opposite for a limited time, but before heading through, to the left you can obtain a 3rd steering wheel. So once through the gate then, head left, and at the end of the road we're going to bait this explosive tiki and then ground slam the button. And then we're going to collect the sponge ball and jump the gap.
Bringing it around town.
At the end of the road, turn right, and then use the jump pad to get onto the floating platforms, and the top one will have sock number 18. Drop down and collect the sponge ball once more and head over the ramp through the life buoy to speak to Gary. And then after speaking with Gary, we're going to open up the box and then use the circular platforms behind us to get up to the bus stop and change character. So as Sandy, we're going to jump up to the next lot of platforms, and we're going to drop down on the boat below to collect our 4th steering wheel. So pressing A at the top of your jump, you'll be able to glide, head to the road in front of you, and we can use our lasso to explode the tikis and clear the path to the left.
Someone better make good use of all these.
And then you're going to head through and use the jump pad in front of you to jump onto the fallen building to your right. At the end of the broken building, you can find sock number 19.
I suppose it'll make Patrick happy.
And now we're going to head back to the jump pad to get on top of the building. And then continue across the platforms to your left, using your lasso with the B button to swing across. And then once you get here, you'll want to jump and hold A to glide to the barrel building to your right. And then we're going to use the broken building and the T keys to get to the raised platform and collect sock number 20. And then jump to the building with the cannon, and to the right we can find our 5th steering wheel. Destroy the cannon, and then jump and glide to the platform to your right where you can see spatula number 13. And then just before we exit, you should now be on 13 spatulas and 20 socks. And then you're good to head to the rooftops. After your discussion with Larry, we're going to do a 180 and across the bridge and wrap around at the back of the tower, and we can use the bus stop to change to SpongeBob. You're then going to go to the right and ground slam the switch, and then use the jump pad that appears. Up here you can get sock number 21 by the propellers.
It shines.
And then once you've copped that, we're going to head back down to the bus stop to change back to Sandy. And now we can get cracking on with the rooftops. You want to follow the path to the left. And we're shortly introduced to a new enemy, so be sure to take him out. And then you can find our 6th steering wheel on this pipe after taking out the tartar enemy that shoots out the tartar sauce. And then continue across the rooftops till you reach a checkpoint. Open the box and spend your shinies at the clam to reveal a switch. You're going to hit that switch to reveal some Texas swing hooks, and then we're going to swing across these back to the beginning, and we can get spatula number 14 on top of the tower. We can then load up the Swing and Sandy checkpoint to save us having to backtrack. And then continue across the rooftops. And then once you've crossed the jump pad, you want to jump back to that platform to obtain steering wheel number 7 above the jump pad. And then we're good to continue. Once you reach the duplicator, we're going to destroy it and hit the switch behind it to lower the jump pads, and then follow along the rooftops once more. And to the right of these moving bamboo platforms, you can find steering wheel number 8. Once you come to this roof where you slide down a pipe, underneath it you can find sock number 22, and then you're good to take the jump pad back and continue. After crossing the 3 conveyor belts, you'll cop your 15th spatula. We're going to use the bus stop here to change to SpongeBob, and ground slam the button to jump to the path above. Head around the back of the lighthouse to find sock number 23.
Boy, Patrick will be glad to have this back.
And then you should have 15 spatulas and 23 socks. And now you're good to head back and inside the lighthouse. Inside the lighthouse, you want to destroy the duplicator on each level first, and then take out the enemies to proceed to the next level. And if you look down, you can actually destroy the duplicator before any enemies have time to spawn.
Just met the Sponginator.
Once you've reached the ground level, you're going to destroy both the duplicators here and the remaining enemies. And you're going to collect your 9th steering wheel and ground slam the switch. We're then going to use the jump pads to get all the way back to the top to cop sock number 24. And then once you've got that, we're going to head back down and cop the 16th spatula and head back out to downtown streets. Head to the left and pick up the sponge ball, and we're going to spend our shinies on the clam to the left to head to the sea needle.
Roll, roll, roll the sponge.
In this area, we need to destroy every single tiki in all of our bungee jumps for a spatula. There are explosive tikis, so keep an eye on your lives in the top left, as if you die, you will need to redo all of the bungee jumps. So head through the west door and jump out the window to the fishhook and destroy all of the tikis, and you can press A to dive to gain some extra distance. Once you've destroyed all of those, you're going to back out and follow the path to the left to use the next bungee.
I feel like a new sponge.
And then once you've destroyed all of the tikis here, straight in front of you is the 10th steering wheel.
Bet the sponge
And then we're going to ground slam the button to open the door. Now head back and continue following the path to take care of the last bungee. And then once you've completed that one, head straight on and pick up the last 11th steering wheel and ground slam the button and head through the door. Once you've destroyed all of the tikis, you're going to speak to Mr. Krabs to turn that mission in and collect spatula number 17. You'll then want to head back to the end of the road checkpoint and speak to Mrs. Puff to turn the steering wheel mission in and collect spatula 18. And you'll also get the Uptown Downtown achievement for 10 Gs for completing that mission. Now we're going to head back to Bikini Bottom on top of the pineapple checkpoint. Head right and we can now head to the poster dome with our 15 spatulas. And this will initiate a boss fight with Robo Sandy. You want to wait for Sandy to attempt to jump on you. You're going to stand close to Sandy and then ground slam her head. And you're going to do that 3 times to clear the first phase.
Looks like the robot's left itself vulnerable. The robot better change tactics and fast.
For the second phase, we play as Patrick and we're going to do the same. We're going to avoid her attacks and wait for her to jump on you.
The old clothesline move.
Ground slam her head, but this time we're going to pick up her head and throw it at the scoreboard. And again, you're going to do that 3 times to clear the second phase.
Takedown by Patrick. The robot's losing its head.
Woo! Up we go!
Wow, I've never seen such an electrifying match.
For the final phase, avoid the attacks, ground slam her head, and this time we're going to press the Y button under the head, and you're going to do that 3 times to defeat her for spatula number 19. And you'll also get the sweet victory achievement for 20 Gs.
What an uppercut! That robot is down and staying down. What an upset here.
Hey, Plankton.
Once back, you'll want to head into Shady Shoals, destroy the TV to find sock number 25.
Boy, Patrick will be glad to have this back.
And then back out and you can stand on the pressure plate opposite, and you can use your new bowl ability with the B button to hit the switch.
There's nothing like the smell of
And then use the jump pad to get onto the police station roof, and up here you can find your second pair of golden underwear. You'll then want to head to the front and head across these floating blocks that we just activated with the switch, and at the top of the rest home you can cop that spatula number 20. We can now head out of here and take our taxi to the Goo Lagoon mission. Follow the path and you'll be introduced to a new enemy, Monsoon, so be sure to jump and destroy him. In this mission, we need to hit the buttons on the lifeguard towers to redirect the beams to a hammer robot sitting on some crates on another island. And you can actually see those crates in the distance as you enter this area. So you're going to hit this button closest to us on the tower behind Larry, and then we're going to head to the lifeguard tower on this island and hit the left switch. We're then going to head to the lifeguard tower on our right. For this one, we're going to hit the left switch. From that one, we're going to do a 180 and head to the tower opposite and hit the switch on the right. And then from that tower, hug the left hand side to the tower on the left, and you're going to hit the switch at the back. Then we're good to head back to the bus stop to change to Patrick. We're then going to head up these platforms and take care of the duplicator, and we're going to head across the towers. You want to throw the watermelon at the relating switch, then head across the floating beach towels to the next tower. And the final tower will hold sock number 26. And then we're going to use the bus stop again to change to SpongeBob. We can now continue on and speak to Mrs. Puff, and our mission for Mrs. Puff is to save the children by releasing them from the balloons. So stand underneath them and press the Y button to release them. You can find the first located right next to Mrs. Puff, and the second is across this small wooden bridge, and we have to stand on top of these tree trunks to get to him. The third is located at the next lot of tree trunks, however these ones sink the longer you stand on them, so keep jumping to slow that process down. Once you've copped him, then take the left hand path through these tikis, and you can find sock number 27 on top of the bar. And then we're going to jump back, head across the tree trunks in the water, and across the jump pad in front of you to free the fourth kid. Then continue along the jump pads and tree trunks and you will come to the last kid. Save him, and then head back to Mrs. Puff to obtain your golden spatula number 21. Now head all the way back around, this time take the path to the right, past the dragons. To the left in this area, you'll want to destroy this floating tiki, which will release the stone ones, and you'll want to quickly jump up those as there is an explosive tiki ready to blow them up. Jump onto the sandcastle, and at the end you can find sock number 28. Now jump down and use the bus stop to change to Patrick, and then we're going to go across the bridge, through the tikis, and hit the switch on the right. That will lower the bridge and initiate a timed section. The water will rise here, so be quick. We're going to head to the right and use this guy in the water to reach the barrel and then jump to the plank. And then we're going to take care of the hammer enemy, pick up the ice cube, and when the water has fully filled, throw it in, and we can reach sock number 29 in this little alcove. Continue to the end of the path and then jump on the sandcastle wall and follow it round. Once at the end, head up the steps and you'll find spatula number 22. Now head up the planks, then use the awning to get to the top of the sandcastle, and you can find sock number 30 on top of a tiki. We now need to cop a checkpoint, so head down, across the bridge and into Goo Lagoon Sea Caves. You're going to open the box, use the bus stop to change to SpongeBob, and then we're going to talk to Gary. and that will get a checkpoint for us. We're now good to change back to Patrick and head back to Goo Lagoon Beach. Across the bridge, to the right, and across the sandcastle wall. When you get to these tikis, you're going to look down and you can see a clam you can jump to. Spend your shinies at the clam, pick up the watermelon and throw it at the switch. And then we're going to make it across all of these jump pads and you'll find spatula number 23 at the end. Once copped, we can now head to the Through the Sea Caves checkpoint we got earlier to save us heading all the way back. So follow the path, and when you make it to the first sandy ledge, you can drop down to a tree trunk in the water. We're going to wait for that water level to drop and we can cop sock number 31. And then we're going to hit the above switch with the Y button and follow the path ahead. And then when you come to this bridge, head underneath when it's safe to do so, and press the Y button to divert the bridge from the left to the right. On this slope, you're going to time your jumps to avoid the puffer fishes, and then at the top of the slope, you're going to jump on top of the tiki, and slowly head across the tikis to get to the ledge to your left. And you're going to follow this path to the end to find sock number 32. And then once you've got that, you're going to head back to the slope. From the slope, jump to the floating platform, hit the switch, and continue along the normal path. You'll come to another bridge like before. This time we're going to head underneath and press the Y button to divert the bridge from the right to the left, and then continue down that left-hand path. Here, jump on the tree trunk and hit the above switch, then continue across the dropped platforms and you'll find spatula number 24 at the end. And then we're going to open up the box, head inside, which will take you back to the beginning of this area with Gary, and we're going to use the bus stop to change to Patrick, and then head back through the open box. And now we can pick up this ice cube and throw it into the water, and you can find sock number 33 close to the center behind these rocks. Now head back to the end, and we're going to travel to Goo Lagoon Pier. Open up the box in front of you and head to Mr. Krabs. And then continue on the pier. At the end, we can pick up the watermelon and throw it at the ticket booth to destroy it. We do need this for one of the socks.
Robot go boo!
So once done, head across and you'll come across this whack-a-mole game on your right. And we're going to pick up the watermelon and throw it at the switch to activate it. So jump inside, destroy all of the tikis that appear, and then once they're all destroyed, you can pick up the sock number 34 just outside for completing it. And then you're going to continue along the pier.
That's much better.
And you'll come across what looks like an ice rink to your right. But this is our first bumper boats minigame. We're going to pick up the watermelon, trying to avoid the enemies, and at the end you'll want to throw the watermelon at the duplicator. This will spawn in sock number 35 for you to collect. Before you leave, be sure to kill all of the enemies in this minigame as it's required for Mr. Krabs' mission. Then in this section with all of the tents, you can see the food and drink tent. We're going to get on top of that to find sock number 36. So now head down this path to find a bus stop and change character. Head back to the tent section and spend your shinies on the clam to spawn in a jump pad. You're then going to take that jump pad up and you'll find a fishing hook that we can bungee on to cop spatula number 25. And you'll also get the Super Spatula Seeker achievement for 20 Gs. Now head back to the bus stop to change back to Patrick, pick up the watermelon and launch it at the switch.
Sure gotta carry a lot of stuff around.
Up here is our second and last bumper boats minigame, so take care of all of the enemies and it will say bumper boats cleared on the screen. Once done, you can drop down to the right to find some floating platforms. Keep heading across these and use the ice cubes to freeze the water to head to the next one. The last platform will hold spatula number 26. We're now good to go back to the clean out the bumper boats checkpoint to turn that mission into Mr. Krabs for spatula number 27. Then load up the last checkpoint, pick up the watermelon and use the launcher. Once here, you're going to use the bus stop to change to SpongeBob, and we're going to hit the right switch on the last lifeguard tower. You're now good to use the jump pad to head back to that area, and we can turn in Larry's task for our 28th spatula. And that will also get us the Surf's Up achievement for 20 Gs. We can now head back to Bikini Bottom at the Shady Shores checkpoint. And behind us we can jump on the fountain and ground slam it to reveal and collect sock number 37. And then we're going to head into Sandy's treehouse. And for this minigame we need to take out all of the enemies in a given time, which is easy enough. We're going to simply take out all of the duplicators first and then the enemies. And that will get you the spatula number 29. Also located here is a new enemy type, the Bombot. You will get this one automatically as it's required for the spatula. So by now you should have a total of 29 spatulas and 37 socks. And then we're good to take a taxi to Rock Bottom. So starting in Dwayne the Rock Bottom, we have a new game mechanic and a new enemy type. We have to hold the left trigger to sneak and avoid detection by these sleeping robots. So sneak up and destroy him, and to the left on this rock is our first artwork we are collecting for Mrs. Puff. And then we're going to continue along the path ahead. You can sneak across these platforms or jump like I do. And at this circular platform we're going to open the box to the left, and the one you can see on the right, and then hit the switch in front of you. You're then going to hug the right hand path leading towards some enemies, and behind this explosive tiki is another switch. So destroy that tiki and hit the switch. And then to the left we're going to destroy the duplicator, and behind it is our third switch, so hit that and then continue on. And just before these sleepy robots we can hit our fourth switch. And then behind the second sleepy robot we can hit the fifth switch and open the box next to it. And you'll want to drop to the platform below to the left, and at the end is sock number 38. And then continue across all of the platforms. And then take out Mr. Tartar Sauce at the end and jump on the moving platform. Take the platform up and you can see sock number 39 in front of you, so leave the moving platform to collect it.
Boy, Patrick will be glad
Now you can attempt to jump back to the moving platform and take that to the top, or if you die it doesn't matter, either way we need to head back to the circular platform with the box that we opened earlier, and then we're going to head up the ramp and ground slam the button next to the duplicator. Collect the sponge ball and follow the ramp and hit the switch at the end, and then head across the lowered bridge and the second ramp, then use your wall jump to get on top of the toothbrushes. And then we're going to make it to the platform in front and use the bus stop to change to Sandy, and then you're going to glide to the first large circular platform in front of you. You're then going to use the swing hook to get to the next one, and then we're going to use another swing hook to get to the circular platform to the left. And then to the left we can glide and collect sock number 40, which will also get you the sock concert achievement for 20 Gs. You can find and collect your second artwork on the platform below, and then we're going to use this rock here to jump and glide to the rock to our right to collect spatula number 30. Now head back and use the jump pad to get to the circular platform in front of you, and then jump pad and glide towards the museum. To which you can find spatula number 31. You should now have a total of 31 spatulas and 40 socks. And now you're good to head to the Rock Bottom Museum. As you start, take the right hand platforms to hit the switch at the end. Then make your way back to then take the left hand platforms to hit 2 more switches. This will disable the lasers and electrical enemies. Jump down underneath the platform you started at with Barnacle Boy, and you'll find sock number 41.
I suppose it'll make Patrick happy.
You're then good to head out of this area, killing the sleepy robots on the way, and open the cardboard box in the center. And to the right, destroy the explosive Tiki and hit the switch behind him. Then jump across the seesaws and you can find the third artwork on the third seesaw. Jump over the lasers to the left and hit the switch. And then follow the wall to find and hit another switch. And then you're going to use the seesaw here to make it up to this balcony and collect spatula number 32. Take the left hand path and then jump the gap in the middle. And then open the cardboard box and head left. Once you've made it to the raised platform with the swinging tyres, you want to jump to the far left tyre, and you're going to use it to jump to the ledge to the left. Destroy the tikis for a nice amount of shinies, and then jump and glide to the next ledge in front of us and collect sock number 42. We're then going to jump and glide to the next, and before we exit here we're going to follow the path, and you can find the fourth artwork on the railing. And then you're going to hug and glide to the last ledge for sock number 43. And now we're good to head back to the exit and travel to the Trench of Advanced Darkness. And you should be at 32 spatulas and 43 socks. You'll immediately start on a sliding section where you'll want to drop to the slide to your left when you're at your first bend. And then take the path to the right from the end of the slide and speak to Gary. You're going to follow the path, over the drop platforms, and next to the duplicator you can find sock number 44. Hit the switch to lower the gate and pick up the sponge ball to get through the gate in time. Take the lift up. Open the box and collect the checkpoint. Take the path to your right, spend your shinies on the clam and use the fishing hook now available to bungee and collect sock number 45. And then we're now going to head to the bus stop to change to Sandy. And use the swing hooks to activate the lasers in this section. So start by heading right. destroy the enemies, and take the pipe up to the laser and hit the switch to activate it. Now head back and you can see the center platform has another platform below it, so head down there for sock number 46 and hit the switch to spawn another swing hook. Then head back up and head across this swing hook. You can find our 5th artwork on a rock here, and then hit the switch to activate this laser. Now we're going to head right and use the new swing hook. Take out the enemies and use the pipe to get up to the switch to activate our last laser. And then we may as well kill ourselves here to save a few seconds, as we'll spawn back to Plankton and we can turn in our mission and collect spatula number 33. We're then going to do a 180 and head across the swing hook on the right. Kill the sleepy robots and you can jump on the bin and rocks to find our last piece of artwork.
Toasted tiki Texas style.
From here, jump and use the swing hook to land on the higher platform for spatula number 34. And then make your way to the exit. Before the exit, you can cop spatula number 35. And you should now have a total of 35 spatulas and 46 socks. And you're good to travel to downtown Rock Bottom. When you start, you want to take the platform over to the right. Open the box, hit the switch, and head down the slide. You'll come to a section where you can see where the slide ends in the distance. At this point, jump off the side and head to where the slide ends to cop spatula number 36 before the timer ends. We're now good to head back to the Return the Museum's art checkpoint to turn the artwork mission into Mrs. Puff, and that will get us the spatula 37 and the Hit Rock Bottom achievement for 20 Gs. So now head back to Bikini Bottom, Shady Shoals checkpoint. And then we're going to do a 180 and take a taxi to Sand Mountain. At the start of Sand Mountain, you're going to jump over the fence to the right. Below, we can destroy the snowman to spawn and collect sock number 47. And then we're going to take the steps up to the left, and we're going to use the coral plant to get to the right hand ledge, and hit the switch to spawn in some swing hooks. Then head over to the left hand ledge, and head to the clam and spend 2500 shinies to spawn in a bungee. Use the bungee to cop spatula 38. And then here at the bus stop, you'll find a path leading down below it for sock number 48. And then you're going to head back up and use the bus stop to change to Sandy. You then want to use the swing hook to the left to jump and glide to the top of the house on the right to collect spatula number 39. If you have trouble with that jump, there are other swing hooks you can use to jump up to make your way up to it. Now we're going to head and pay 1500 shinies for the lift to Gumpy Mound. Here we're going to make sure to destroy the tikis, open the box, and use the bus stop to change to SpongeBob. Now it was at this point I'm running low on shinies, and we need about 5000 shinies for the other ski lifts. So if you're short like me, we can farm some of the shinies here. And then be sure to take the left path at the fork to find sock number 49 at the lip of the jump. And then when you get to this Krusty Krab billboard, you'll want to take the left hand path and hit the hand button, which will release a boulder. You can then hold back on the left stick to reduce your speed, so we can collect the shinies and fall to our death. You'll then want to rinse and repeat this method, as well as remembering to destroy the tikis at the start for some extra shinies, until you have 5,000 shinies. Once you have enough shinies, we're going to speak with Mrs. Puff and accept her time challenge, and get to the bottom of the hill in less than 70 seconds. We're going to take the path to the left to activate the boulder again. And then at the fork, we're going to take the path to the left and you will find sock number 50.
Patrick will be glad to have this back.
And then when you come to this section, be sure to hug the right hand wall tightly to collect sock number 51.
Patrick needs to do laundry.
And hopefully you would have beaten that time. If not, you can take the cardboard box back to the beginning and try again. Once at the end, hit both of the switches, which are located behind each duplicator, to open the gate. And then you can find spatula number 40. So we're going to use the box to head back to Mrs. Puff and collect spatula number 41 for beating her time. We're then good to leave this ski lift. Once back, we're going to head right and spend another 1500 shinies at ski lift number 2 to head to Flounder Hill. For this hill slide, there are 8 hidden snowmen to destroy, and destroying all of them will spawn a sock at the end of the hill. Do note, if you die, you will have to re-destroy all of the snowmen. It might be worth separating your slides into more than one run. So we're going to speak to Bubble Buddy to accept his time challenge, but before heading down the hill, we're going to do a 180 and destroy the snowman. Now open up the box and head down the hill. At the first bend, jump between the 2 directional signs to find a hidden path, and jump and destroy the second snowman. At the first fork, you can take either path as long as you take the opposite path on your next run. For me, I took the left-hand path. Make your way around the spiral path and be sure to destroy snowman number 3. Once you've crossed these flagged platforms, you'll want to destroy snowman number 4 on the bend ahead. At the next fork in this run, I jump to the gap. And at the second tunnel, you want to jump on top of it to collect sock number 52.
Boy, Patrick will be glad to have this back.
At the end, like before, we're going to hit the 2 switches located behind each duplicator to get rid of the gate, and collect spatula 42 for completing the hill slide. Then open and head through the box, and if you beat Bubble Buddy's time, you can cop spatula number 43. If not, you can achieve it in your second run. So in the next run, you want to take the opposite paths at the forks that you did in your first run. So for me, instead of jumping off between the directional signs, I'm going to follow the path and destroy the snowman number 5. The next fork, I take the right hand path and destroy the 6th snowman on the spiral path. And at the last fork at the gap, drop down to destroy the 7th snowman. And if you're quick enough, you can jump to the path to the left to find and destroy the last 8th snowman. It's up to you if you want to jump and take that risk, or simply do another run. So once you've destroyed all 8 snowmen, a sock will spawn at the end of the hill slide for you to collect. And this is sock number 53. We're then good to leave this ski lift. The last ski lift is located to our right and will cost another 1500 shinies. Speak to Larry and accept his timed challenge, and like before, open the box before starting. As you start, you'll want to use the jump pad on the right to get to the platform above. Up here at the end you can find sock number 54. After these jumps we want to use yet another jump pad located on the right to get to another raised platform. Make sure to slide over the hand switch to release a boulder. You'll want to follow this boulder as it leaves the main slide path and opens up a secret path. Jump off the main track and through the new hidden path, and in here you'll find sock number 55.
Boy, Patrick will be glad to have this back.
Now at the end of the hill slide we have a few forks and optional paths. Choose the same path as me to complete the hill slide under the time limit. At the first fork, take the right hand path. Then at the first directional sign, we're going to drop to the path below. And you're good to follow this path to the finish. And beware, the path is rather bendy, so be sure to make tight turns. So finishing this hill slide will net you the Life's as Extreme as You Want to Make It achievement for 30 Gs. And like before, we're going to hit the two switches located behind each duplicator to destroy the gate ahead, and you'll find spatula 44 for completing this hill slide. Jump through the box and collect spatula number 45 from Larry for completing his time challenge.
Congratulations, SpongeBob. You
After that, before leaving, we're going to use the bus stop to change to Sandy, and we're going to go down the hill slide once more, as there is a sock we can collect with her. The collectible is located at the second jump pad, so be sure to use it, and use the double jump and glide to reach the swing hook above. You're going to use that to get to the raised platform and make your way across the platforms. The last platform will have sock number 56.
Thanks for messing with Texas. Gotcha. Well, I suppose it'll make Patrick happy.
We are now good to head back to Bikini Bottom at the Shady Shoals checkpoint. And we're going to head top right and travel to the industrial park, and this will initiate a boss fight with Robo Patrick. You'll want to avoid his projectiles. You can do this with ease. Then once he is resting, we're going to jump and attack his back. And you're going to do that 3 more times to clear the first phase.
and the robot is down.
For the second phase, we play as Sandy. Similar thing, we dodge the first round of projectiles, and we're going to hit him on the back when he is resting. The next lot of projectiles, you can use the swing hook above you to avoid them. And then glide and hit him on the back to avoid the acid. And we do the same for the last part of the second phase. The third and final phase, we are back as SpongeBob. Similar thing, once again, we just have to run away from Robo Patrick's ice breath. And then once you've defeated him, you'll get the Toxic Terror achievement for 30 Gs. As well as Spatula 46.
I see a prime bowling moment right here.
I'm sorry, Plankton. The Chum Bucket Lab is locked up tight. I don't know if I'll ever get enough golden spatulas.
And then we are going to head inside the Krusty Krab. We need to accept this minigame and destroy everything in here for sock number 57. You will also note that we have a new enemy type in here, the Buzzbot, which shoots out the lasers. We will get that one automatically for destroying them and everything in here. and this does include destroying the source counter and the cash register.
I feel like a new sponge. Another find for Patrick.
After leaving, we're going to head left and speak with Mr. Krabs for spatula 47 for destroying everything inside the Krusty Krab. Then head around the back, hit the dumpster to spawn sock number 58.
Boy, Patrick will be glad to have this back.
We can then head over to Bubble Buddy to speak with him and we'll unlock the new Cruise Bubble ability. You can use this new ability with the left bumper and we can direct the bubbles at the 3 switches on the chum bucket. And this will spawn in a jump pad. We're going to use that to get on top of the chum bucket and cop spatula number 48. And if you've been following along, you'll also get the Hello Bikini Bottom achievement for 15 Gs for finding all the spatulas in Bikini Bottom. So from the chum bucket, we're going to do a double jump to the Krusty Krab sign and collect our last golden underwear. And now we want to head inside the chum bucket.
Like a spring breeze.
To the left of the kitchen door, we want to jump onto the vent to locate spatula number 49. I believe you can jump from the table, but you can also use the top of the kitchen door to get it. Now that's done, we can travel to downtown Bikini Bottom, the Cruise Bubble checkpoint, as we now have that ability. You're going to head through the hallway and through the east door, and then release your Cruise Bubble to the right. The switch will be hanging from the ceiling. Once you hit it, head back through the hallway and use the bus stop to change to Sandy. And now we're going to head through the west door, and to the left you want to jump and glide to the moving platform, and you'll find spatula number 50. And for collecting 50, you'll get the Ultra Spatula Seeker achievement for 30 Gs. We're then going to jump and glide to the swing hook ahead and land on the floor below. At the end of this hallway in front of the switch is sock number 59. We are then done with this area and good to travel to Jellyfish Fields, the Cowabungie checkpoint, as there is some socks we can collect with our new ability. So you're going to traverse across the platforms, and then directly in the distance is a bowling minigame we need to complete. You're going to stand on the pressure plate and hold and release the B button to bowl a bubble. Knock over all of the pins to spawn in and collect sock number 60. We're then good to travel to the Drain the Lake checkpoint in Jellyfish Fields. You're going to follow the path round to the left. When you get to the fork, take the left-hand path. Stand on the pressure plate here, press the left bumper to use the cruise bubble and take out all of the floating tikis. Once you take them all out, sock number 61 will spawn in. Once you've copped that, we're good to travel back to Shady Shores in Bikini Bottom. Head inside the rest home, and we're going to speak to Mermaid Man.
Checkers.
And we're going to speak to Mermaid Man and agree to enter the Mermalair. Open the box and continue following the path. And you'll come across 2 new enemy types. This is Arf, and the minions he releases are called Arf Dogs, so make sure to destroy both of them. And then we're going to use our bubble bowl to hit the rotating switch on the left hand side 4 times to move the platform all the way over to the right. And we can use the bungee to collect sock number 62.
Patrick will be glad to have
Next, we're going to hit the rotating switch on its right side 3 times to move it back over to the left and head across to the checkpoint. And then we're going to use our bubble bowl to hit the bowl switch and head across the new platform. At the end here, you can pick up spatula number 51, open the cardboard box and head to the Murmelair main chamber. In here, open the box and head across the platform and use the bubble bowl on the left side of the rotating switch. In the center, head directly across and use the bubble bowl again on the bowl switch. And then we're going to head right to the bus stop and change to Patrick. And then pick up the watermelon, and we need to take them down each of the 3 paths successfully and hit the switch at the end. Once you've done that, you're going to return to Mermaid Man after completing them, and you'll collect spatula number 52. After that, spend 2300 shinies on the clam behind, and use the watermelon on the plank to get to the higher level. Up here, after speaking with Barnacle Boy, we have 8 switches that we need to hit in a particular order for a spatula. We can use the hand switch here to reset the puzzle at any time. So using the hand switch as our point of reference as 0, in clockwise order, the combination is 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 4, 2, and lastly 6. If done correctly, there will be a short cutscene. We can head and speak to Barnacle Boy, and he will give you a spatula number 53.
Well done.
Hit the switch here before leaving. This is required to shut down the security system for another spatula, and it is our first of 4 switches. Now down this slide, you want to jump at the end and land in the center between the 3 lampposts to obtain sock number 63. You can use the plank by Mermaid Man to head back up and try again if you missed it. So back to the bus stop, we're going to change to SpongeBob. We can now take the other path up the platform steps and use the bubble bowl on the right side of the rotating switch. This will lower a platform for us. Up the top, we want to use our bubble bowl on the bowl switch. Continue on and do the same thing for the next bowl switch. Then head down the slide to get back to the center. We can now head across the conveyor belts and then use the wall jumps. Then once up the top, head left and you can find spatula number 54. We can use our bubble bowl to find the second switch for the security system, and then we're good to head out to the Murmelair security tunnel.
Gary!
You're going to follow the linear path till you reach the cowboy enemy and the clam at the end. Spend 2300 on the clam, and then head across the conveyor belts to reach sock number 64 at the end. And then we can use the jump pad to get back.
To do laundry.
You can now head up the rocks to the left, open the box, bubble bowl our third switch and collect spatula number 55. You're then good to head to the rolling ball area. Now we have a timed puzzle here for another spatula. Behind it you want to bubble bowl our last switch for the security system, and then we can start the timed puzzle. So bowl a bubble up the red ramp to hit the switch and start the puzzle, and a boulder will be released. Once the boulder gets halfway down the ramp, we're going to bowl another bubble to the rotating handles to complete that part. And then you're good to run behind you and bowl a bubble at the hammer pretty much immediately. This will scoop up the boulder. And then you'll want to stand on the back of this pressure plate and wait for the boulder to be right above your head before bowling another bubble at the bowl switch. Then head up the steps in front of you, and we're going to stand on this pressure plate to your left to make a path for the boulder. Once the boulder has passed, you're good to carry on and bowl a bubble to the switch in front of us, and quickly jump to the balancing board and stand on the first arrow so the boulder hits you. And then run and stand left of the last arrow so it lands in the pipe. Now as soon as the boulder goes inside the pipe, you want to be quick and proceed across the platforms towards the fan. The best way to hit this switch is to bowl a bubble really close to the switch to get it. If done in time, the boulder will shoot out of the pipe in a short cutscene, and you will get the Keep It Rolling achievement for 20 Gs. And back to the balancing board, you can see sock number 65 on the floating tiki, so make sure to grab that. And we are now good to head back to Mr. Krabs and pick up spatula 56. We now want to travel to the security system checkpoint to turn that quest in. Simply speak to the computer and pick up spatula 57.
I have regained control. You have pressed all the security buttons.
We can then bowl a bubble to the switch and head over the new path. This will take you to the villain containment area. So we have a simple boss battle here. We're going to run it in circles to avoid the shrimp's attack. And as soon as the projectile starts catching up with you, you're going to double jump over them and continue running in the opposite direction. And once the boss's shield is lowered, we're going to wait for the lift floor to stop flashing, and we're going to use the blue path to bubble bowl the shrimp. And you're going to do this 2 more times to defeat him. And for that, you will get the Shrimp Catcher achievement for 15 Gs. After defeating him, you will automatically spawn here with spatula number 58 directly in front of you. And then we are done with this level, so we can head back to the chum bucket in Bikini Bottom. So we want to head behind the chum bucket and take a taxi to Kelp Forest. And as soon as you start, we're going to head up the jump pad leaves to your right. We're going to drop down and use the floating explosive tikis to get to the platform above. Then jump over to the leaves, taking them to the top, and you can find sock number 66. We can then jump down and use our bubble bowl to destroy these sneaky tikis. If you destroy them all, sock number 67 will appear. And then we're going to head to the campsite and speak with Mrs. Puff. And Mrs. Puff wants us to find and locate the 6 campers. And now you're going to use the umbrella and the portaloo to get to the raised platform behind Mrs. Puff. And we're going to ground slam the switch and follow the path. Ground slam the second switch and use the leaves to get to the raised platform, and jump across and ground slam the third switch. Head up these leaves to find our first one of 6 campers for Mrs. Puff, and then we can simply kill ourselves here to return to the campsite quicker. This time we're going to head straight, and we have a new enemy type here, the tubelets. We're going to take these enemies out by attacking the bottom one and then using the Y ability to jump attack the others. At the cowboy, we're going to take the path to the left, follow it, stand on the pressure plate and use the cruise bubble to hit the now uncaged switch across from you. And then we can simply kill ourselves again to get back, and then we're going to go to the bus stop to change to Patrick. Now as Patrick, we're going to use the umbrella and the leaves to the right to find camper number 2 of 6. Then over the leaves to use the watermelon on the plank. Grab the watermelon and use the leaf to get over to the platform with the switch and use the watermelon on it. Then head back, get another watermelon and back over to use it on the second plank. Now pick up this watermelon and use the leaves to take it up. Stand close to the edge so you can throw it to the platform opposite, pick it up and use it on the plank. And then you're going to drop down here to find camper number 3 of 6. We can now drop down, use the ice cube on the water to freeze it, and towards the left of the waterfall to find sock number 68.
Hey, this is mine!
Now head along this left hand path, take the leaves up to explore the path on from the campsite, and at the exit we can find spatula number 58, so cop that before you head to Kelp Swamp. Now from the start we can use the leaf and jump and dash to the ledge to our right. And then we can hit the switch at the end. Use the next leaf to get to the next platform to find sock number 69. We can then head down and to the right of the clam we can find camper number 4 of 6. We're then going to spend 2600 shinies at the clam to open the gate and follow the path. Make your way past the cowboy and then drop down to the right. Use the leaves to wrap around and then progress up. And on this ledge you'll find sock number 70. And then now use the leaf to get back. And then take the path to the left. Use the leaf to get to the higher platform, destroy the duplicator and pick up the stone tiki and throw it towards the stone sockets. And then we can pick it up and throw it onto one of the sockets, open the cardboard box and speak to Mr. Krabs. From him we can pick up another stone tiki and throw that onto another socket. Take the left hand path from Mr. Krabs and use the leaves to get to the ledge to the left. And then we're going to take the stone tiki back and throw it onto the last socket. Now head back down the left hand path. This time drop down, take the right hand path to find camper 5 of 6. We're now going to drop down once more to this switch and ice cube, hit the switch, throw the ice cube into the water, and we're going to head past the waterfall and hug the right hand wall until you reach this uncaged spatula number 60. We're then going to select the Tiki Roundup checkpoint to quickly get back to Mr. Krabs, and then we're going to use the leaf to get up to the platform opposite and collect spatula number 61. You should now have a total of 61 spatulas, 70 socks and 5 campers, and we're then good to head to Kelp Caves. Open the cardboard box in front of you and use the bus stop to change to SpongeBob. And we're going to stand on the pressure plate and use the cruise bubble on the switch to open the gate. And now use the bus stop to change back to Patrick. Through the gate and pick up the first crystal we need for Barnacle Boy. And to the left we can throw the stone tiki at the socket in front. Head back to the bus stop to change to SpongeBob. And then we're going to go back over to the left hand side, up the leaves, and you can find the second crystal up here. Stand on the pressure plate to uncage a switch, and we're going to use the cruise bubble to hit it. Now head down and through the new opened gate. In here we need to stand on yet another pressure plate and guide our cruise bubble to another switch.
I feel like a new sponge.
Aim the cruise bubble through the cave in front of us to find the switch. Now head through the now lowered gate on the right, hug the right hand path, kill the enemy and stand on this pressure plate. You're going to guide the cruise bubble back through the way we came, in between the stone platforms and up to the switch.
Sometimes pushing a simple button.
Now right of this pressure plate we're going to open the cardboard box, collect sock number 71, and then we can go back to the bus stop to change to Patrick. Head through the gate to the left again and we're going to hit the switch to reset the stone tiki, pick it up and take it through the other path, and we're going to throw it on this socket here. That will spawn in some leaves on the left, so use those to get to the higher platform and collect the third crystal. Head back and pick up the stone tiki from the socket, through the next gate, throw the tiki on the step to the left, pick it up and throw it on the socket to the left. Head back through the gate to pick up another stone tiki, throw that on the step to the left once more, pick it up and use the now spawned in leaves to get to the higher platform. Once at the top, throw the stone tiki on the ledge with the fourth crystal. Now you're going to drop back down, head back to where we picked up the stone tiki originally, and we can pick up the watermelon. Then again, use the leaves to take the watermelon to the top and use this on the plank to get across and collect the fourth crystal. Now pick up the stone tiki and chuck it onto the socket. Now drop down and collect the stone tiki that we used in this area to spawn in the leaves, and take that up the steps to the area with the pressure plate we used earlier. And we're going to throw that onto this socket here, and we're going to take these newly spawned in leaves to the platform above to find crystal number 5. Now head back down and we're going to backtrack to the right through this gate, up the stairs to the left. We're going to follow it round to find the last camper for Mrs. Puff. And then we can jump to this leaf to get to the last crystal on the platform above. Now head back to the bus stop to change back to SpongeBob. And we're going to speak to Barnacle Boy to turn in our quest and collect spatula number 62. Now head inside the cardboard box, follow the path to the right, up the leaves to the pressure plate and cruise bubble the last target to the left between the platforms.
Bubble parlor.
And that will open up the gate to the exit and spatula number 63. Once you've got that, you're good to head to the kelp vines. Here you're going to already be speaking to Mermaid Man. Press A and accept his slide challenge. And you're going to open the cardboard box and start the slide. When you come to this leaf, which is tilted, at the next bend we need to jump to the leaf to the left, and that will take you to a hidden path above to which you can find sock number 72.
You. Patrick needs to do laundry.
Follow the slide to the end for spatula number 64, then jump through the cardboard box at the end to head back to Mermaid Man and collect spatula number 65 if you beat his time. If not, run the slide again till you do.
Well, now, that's some.
And now we're good to head to the Lost Campers checkpoint to turn in our mission for Mrs. Puff and collect spatula number 66. And you'll also get the Kelp Forest of Fear achievement for 30 Gs. And now we're going to head back to the Chum Bucket at Bikini Bottom. And to the right, we're going to take a taxi to the Flying Dutchman's graveyard. As we start, there will be a new enemy, and our last enemy type to kill for the achievement. You can kill him now, but I decided to kill him a little later. As you start, we're going to take the right hand path, past the moving pillars, and spend 2700 shinies at the clam. And keep an eye on your shinies here, as we'll need another 2700 for another clam later. Now, I did forget here, before we hit the switch in the chest, we need to lower the water level, so back up, and we're going to stand close to this pillar on the right, and we can use our cruise bubble to hit the target hatch on the ship in front of us. After that short cutscene, we're good to head back and hit the button in the chest. This will uncage a spatula at the end for a timed period. So pick up the sponge ball, follow the path to the end to find the cage with the spatula inside for number 67. And to save us running back, we can simply load through the goo checkpoint. And we're going to hit the switch on the pillar to the left. Then the switch on the second pillar. And use the remaining pillars to wall jump up. Head straight, past the next lot of pillars and down to this broken ship. And to the left you can find spatula number 68. And then we're going to head back over using the jump pad. And then we're going to hit the switch on the closest pillar first. And then the one next to it. And then over to the other pair of pillars, we're going to hit the switch on the smaller one. We're then good to wall jump up and use the small pillar to make it across. Once across the wooden platform, we're going to head right to the next lot of pillars. Here is where I kill the next enemy type. Bowler Bubble or Cruise Bubble to break his shield, and again to kill him. And you'll get the Robot Encyclopedia achievement for 30 Gs. We're then going to hit both the large pillars to the opposite side, then the smaller pillar, and then the first large pillar back over. And then the medium pillar to the left, and we can wall jump up. You can then make your way to ground slam the switch, destroy the duplicator if you wish, and then head back and across the wooden plank. At the end of that short slide, you'll find spatula number 69. And then we're going to head on and to the graveyard of ships. After automatically speaking to Squidward, we're going to open up the box and head across the platforms. And then to the bus stop at the end to change to Sandy. You then want to head back to the graveyard lane. And now we're here with Sandy, we can now use the swing hooks, take them to the end to find sock number 73. And then we're going to take a checkpoint to the stack of ships, head across the platforms once more, and we're going to wall jump to the top. And then work your way round and use the bus stop to change to Sandy again. We can now use the swing hooks to get to the ship and land on the quarterdeck. We're going to head inside this broken ship, so head to the front of the wreckage and drop down inside, and you'll find sock number 74.
It'll make Patrick happy.
We're then going to jump and glide hugging the left side to reach that path. Use the bus stop to change to SpongeBob and use the wall jump. We're going to use our wall jump again to get across the sails, and then once more to get across these decks. And we're going to use our cruise bubble or bowl of bubble to defeat this enemy. Before going across the next sails, to the right is another clam I mentioned earlier. Spend your 2700 shinies and use the hook to bungee down and collect spatula number 70. You'll then want to time your jumps to get across these sails. And then make your way around and you'll come to another wall jump where you need to time your jumps. And then simple wall jumps after allowed me to get to the top. Up here, kill all of the enemies and make your way around once more to find spatula number 71. You're then going to jump onto this ship and take it to the Dutchman ship. We're going to head past Mr. Krabs, and on this ship we're going to hit the switch on the cannon directly in front of us. Then get close to the edge of the ship here and use your cruise bubble twice to take out the large patrolling enemy. And then you're going to make your way across the planks to the ship opposite. Destroy all of the 4 electrical units on the deck to destroy their associated cannon. And then we're going to jump up to the front of the deck, use our cruise bubble to destroy another electrical unit on the upper deck. You can hit it by directing it under the sail, or if you have difficulty doing that, you have enough time to take the missile around the sail. Once all the cannons are destroyed, use the bus stop to change to Sandy. We can then use these barrels to double jump and collect sock number 75 above us, and then from those barrels you're going to glide towards the other ship while looking up, and we'll be able to swing on the hook closest to the sail. We can then jump off the backside onto a jump pad to the main mast and find spatula number 72. We're then going to jump on the foremast with the cannon on it and hit the associated switch. Then jump and glide around the sail back to the quarterdeck. Then use the bus stop to change back to SpongeBob. And hit the switch on the left cannon. And then the last cannon switch you can see is directly in front of us, so jump up on the chest and use your cruise bubble to hit it. And that will get you the ship shape achievement for 15 Gs, as well as spatula number 73. We can then hit the switch inside the now open chest, which will start the boss fight with the Flying Dutchman. This fight is really easy, we just need to run side to side to avoid his laser attacks. And then when he does this attack, you're going to lasso to grab his tail to end the phase. We do this 2 more times to finish the boss fight, and you will get the Shanghai achievement for 15 Gs, as well as spatula number 74. And now it's at this point in the game I decided to grind out some shinies, as we'll need 40,000 of them to buy spatulas from Mr. Krabs. The best place I found to grind out shinies was in Goo Lagoon at the Sea Caves checkpoint. We're going to exit out of here to go to the Goo Lagoon beach. Then we're going to drop down to the right, destroying the duplicator, and get the checkpoint. It's here you want to use your cruise bubble towards the sandcastle in front of you, and hit the floating explosive tiki to destroy those. And then we're going to use it again on top of the sandcastle above you, and then once more on the tikis on the bridge. And then we can jump off and kill ourselves to spawn back at the checkpoint with the tikis reset. And we're simply going to rinse and repeat this method, and this method will get you around 1000 shinies every 30 seconds, which means you will have 40,000 shinies in 20 minutes. Once you have your 40,000 shinies, you're good to continue and head back to the chum bucket. Head right, and inside the circle of stones we can head to SpongeBob's Dream. Here you want to time your jumps to get up the spiky green blocks. Once at the top, bubble bowl the enemy, and then 2 hours left will be a rotating switch. Get close to the edge and use the bubble bowl to rotate it, and this will release a beach ball. You want to quickly get in front of it. The last bamboo slope has a spatula above it, so we need to stop the beach ball and use it to jump up and grab it. We can do this in one of two ways. You're going to stand at the edge of the second slope, stop the beach ball there and double jump to collect it, or stand directly underneath the spatula, jump on the beach ball and press the Y button to jump directly up to collect it. Either way, once you've collected spatula number 75, you will get the Mega Spatula Seeker achievement for 50 Gs. And now we're going to head back up and take the right hand path down the slide. And head inside Sandy's Dream. Before you use the slide, we're going to open up the box behind you. And at the first fork, you're going to take the left-hand path. Then jump to the first floating island to your left. You're going to use 2,800 of your shinies on the clam to release some swing hooks. Now, if you haven't already gotten the Squirrel Smasher achievement for killing 100 robots as Sandy, I would highly recommend grinding that out here, as they infinitely spawn. Once you've copped your 15 Gs, you're going to destroy the duplicator and the remaining enemies, and cop spatula number 76. And then before leaving this area, you're going to wrap yourself around the back of the building, and you'll find sock number 76. We're then good to take the jump pad back. Now jump back on the slide, and once you get to this fork, be sure to divert to that path. And then make sure to jump and use the swing hook to take the upper path. And you'll come to sock number 77 at the lip of this jump. So then continue following the path, and when you get to the end, be sure to avoid the jump pad so we can take out the enemies, as well as picking up sock number 78. Once done, we can then use that jump pad we avoided earlier and continue on the slide. Follow that till you come to an acorn at the end with spatula number 77 sitting on the top. And then we can head through the box to get back to the beginning. Use the bus stop to change the SpongeBob and destroy the tikis with a bubble bowl for some extra shinies. And then we can use another bubble bowl on the rotating switch to lower the platform and reach the exit. From here, spend 1,000 shinies at the clam, and you're going to use the jump pads and your double jump to get on top of Squidward's house to cop spatula number 78. We're now going to head inside Squidward's Dream. Open the cardboard box behind you and you're going to traverse across these music notes. When you come to this section with the jump pads, we need to use the last jump pad to obtain sock number 79 near our last checkpoint. And this particular section here is quite challenging. It took me a few attempts. When the yellow music note is at its furthest and is about to start coming back towards us, this is when you need to jump to the jump pad. And when you reach the end with the box, jump on Squidward's nose to get spatula number 79. And then we're now good to head through the box and back through the exit. You're going to spend 1,000 shinies at this clam and traverse over the spiky platforms. And then head inside to Mr. Krabs' dream.
Squidward, this is amazing.
Here we need to destroy a certain number of enemies to make the burgers align, allowing us to climb them and destroy the duplicators on top of each burger.
Like a spring breeze.
Once you've destroyed all of the duplicators and the remaining enemies, before heading to Squidward, head to the opposite side and we can drop down to a well-hidden sock on top of a tiki. And that was sock number 80, and you will get the sock opera achievement for 50 Gs. Now head back to Squidward and collect spatula number 80, and then we're good to exit. Head right and spend 1,000 shinies at the clam, and head across the spiky green blocks. And now we're going to go inside Patrick's dream and pick up spatula number 81, and then exit. Continuing on, destroy the enemy, open the box and collect spatula number 82. And that will get you the Sleepy Time achievement for 15 Gs. We're now good to head to the pineapple checkpoint at Bikini Bottom. And now here we're going to speak to Patrick and we can turn in 10 socks at a time for a spatula. So with 80 socks, that will take us up to 90 spatulas in total. Now head to the Chum Bucket checkpoint. Turn around and speak to Mr. Krabs. We're going to purchase all 8 spatulas from him, and this will cost 39,500 shinies in total, which will bring us up to a total of 98 spatulas. Now before the last level, you should have obtained the Sponge Smasher achievement for defeating 100 robots as SpongeBob. For me, I still needed to destroy 100 robots with Patrick for the Star Smasher. So if you need either of those, you're going to head to the Drain the Lake checkpoint, head left to find a duplicator, and keep destroying robots until the achievement pops. Obviously leaving the duplicator so they are able to keep respawning. You can do this with any duplicator, this is just the one I decided to use. So now we're going to travel back to the Chum Bucket and head inside the kitchen. And we have Robo SpongeBob to defeat for our last spatulas and achievements. The first phase, we are going to double jump to avoid the rotating arm. Once you've jumped over it, head towards it and attack the switch in the center of the hand. And you'll repeat this step once more to hit the switch on his other hand. We are then tasked with hitting the 5 green switches on the face of Robo SpongeBob, so use the cruise bubble to hit them. Plankton will try and fly in the way of your cruise bubble, so you can either get around him with it or hit him with it to stun him. You should then have 2 switches remaining which are located on the sides. Again, use the cruise bubble for these. And hitting those will net you the SpongeBob v SpongeBob achievement for 100 Gs, as well as Golden Spatula 99. And there will be a short cutscene, and we are now inside Robo SpongeBob. You're going to use the jump pad in front, destroy the duplicator and the enemies, and then we have to cruise bubble Plankton to proceed. Once you've hit him, a path will appear to cross and destroy the electrical device, and then use the jump pad. And similar thing here, but we're going to have to use our cruise bubble to destroy the duplicator on the other platform. Take out the remaining enemies, then cruise bubble Plankton and proceed across the new platforms. At the end, press Y to up attack the electrical device and use the new jump pad. Here, quickly take out the enemies and use the cruise bubble to take out the duplicator, or you could bowl a bubble over the ramp. Once you've cleared those out, cruise bubble Plankton once more, head across the new path and destroy the electrical device at the end and use the jump pad. And you're going to do exactly the same here, but this time, to hit the electrical device, we need to use our cruise bubble. Use the jump pad, and up here we need to cruise bubble Plankton and quickly send another cruise bubble through the tunnel in front of us, guide it through, hitting the electrical device at the end. We are then going to repeat this 2 more times for 2 more tunnels. Hitting the electrical device in the last tunnel will defeat Robo SpongeBob and complete the game, netting you the Small Does Not Rule achievement for 30 Gs for defeating him. You'll also get to the Super Ultra Mega Spatula Seeker for 100 Gs, and the 100% SpongeBob for a massive 200 Gs for completing the game to its full completion for collecting all of the socks and spatulas. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If this guide helped you out and you wanted to help me out, a sub on the channel would be really appreciated, as I'm trying to hit 3k subs by the end of the year. That would be awesome, and I'll keep dropping videos like this. Take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.